Hi everyone, welcome to our channel, Mac the Wanderer. And today we are here for the review of yesterday's exciting match between RR versus Punjab Kings. And we have our experts with us, Abhijit and Aniket. Welcome, guys.
Hi, I'm Akran.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Happy Gudi Padwa to all of you, all the viewers and experts on our panel.
Happy Gudi Padwa as well as a happy Ugadi. The people who are watching from south side, they are having Ugadi festival today. So happy Ugadi to them.
Best wishes to everyone for the new year.
So this match was exciting between RR versus Punjab Kings, and we have exciting toss again. Means win the toss on 1K day and win the match. Is it going like that? Shall we consider it like that? It is becoming like a chasing ground. What do you think, Abhijit?
Again, like yesterday, I don't think toss was that crucial because the pitch was very good to bat on. There was no swing, no spin at all on that pitch. And Mumbai Wankhede Stadium is having shorter boundaries on the either sides of the pitch. So it is very easy to hit sixes on that ground. So again, even if you see the results, I don't think the toss have made any difference in that.
Yeah, the pitch was absolutely fine to bat on. Few of the deliveries here and there were bouncing a bit more than expected, but rather than that, all the batting, it was easy, and to score runs was very easily available. And we have seen also both the teams have passed 200 plus score.
So do you think that Rajasthan have missed the trick of selection because they kept their team dependent on three people: Sanju Samson, Jose Butler, and Ben Stokes. And I didn't saw any other batsman was of that caliber who can hit the word say go.
It is very difficult. We can't say like that because although Sanju Samson scored 119, but we must understand that Rajasthan Royals could reach till the 217. So there were a few batsmen who scored runs. That's why they scored 100 more runs. Even Riyan Parag, he also played really well, and he was also hitting some good sixes. Although even after failure of Ben Stokes, they could reach their this scores or so close. So it is. I don't think that there was any uh, miscalculation as far as team selection is concerned. The team was
Yeah,
balanced with Ben Stokes and Chris Morris as all rounders. Good bowling options and batting was also uh, good if it is not better, but still, I feel there was not much to analyze or criticize as far as the team selection is concerned.
yeah, definitely. If you see both the teams, what the listings we got as a playing 11, both the teams looked equally balanced. Maybe not for the game point of view, but for particularly going against each other, they both were having the required number of all rounders, they having required number of youngsters. In fact, I would rather say Rajasthan Royals gave opportunity to more youngsters. We could see some new faces also coming in and performing, like those two quick fires from Shivam Dubey and Riyan Parag were definitely important towards the end part of the inning.
On the contrary, I feel Punjab had a less bowling options than Rajasthan Royals. Yesterday, Rajasthan Royals used 8 bowlers, and Punjab had only 5 bowlers. So somehow, I feel that Punjab selected less bowling options than Rajasthan Royals. So I don't think there was much to debate on the selection of Rajasthan Royals.
No, that's a good point to make, because Punjab has only had five listed bowlers and they went with only five bowlers. But Rajasthan, honestly, I was looking like the lack of experience was a key, in
Yeah.
utilizing the bowlers properly because he utilized two bowlers for the full quota and the others he was rotating amongst, eight bowlers. So it was kind of looking like an inexperience. See, Rian
This-
Parag came for 1 over. He gave away only 7 runs. He took out Chris Gale, but he's
Yeah.
never been utilized in another time.
Yeah, he should have got one more over at least to reduce the speed
Yeah.
of the scoring.
This
Yeah,
this has
talking
to do
about
with
Punjab batting.
just one point. This has to do with inexperience in captaincy as well. Sanju Samson, his first game as a captain, so we should consider that he himself is inexperienced. So he tried many options while while bowling bowling. So we should consider that inexperience in all departments.
Talking about Punjab batting, it was a beautiful display in the mid overs. The first 50 runs came in 46 balls, but after that, the next 100 came in like 38 balls. It was like quick
Chris
fire
Gale,
from
thanks to Chris
KL Rahul, Chris Gale, and Deepak Huda. Was Chris Gale was looking like it was all he was always kept on check by Rajasthan Royals?
Yeah, it was looking like he was looking like tentative. He was on tentative footwork. His footwork was not as good as he was earlier. On top of that, his hitting zone was kept quiet. They were not bowling in his hitting arc as well. So they were
Exactly.
trying
Yeah.
to keep him quiet.
And Deepak Huda, especially what happened with Baroda board, putting a ban, getting an opportunity to play an IPL game, playing in the first 11, that was a great batting display. I would rather say, he made Punjab surety of 200.
I think the Punjab team came out to bat with a definite plan in their minds. Rahul keeping one end tight, and other batsmen came and expressed themselves. I think the whole batting unit revolved around KL Rahul. KL Rahul's aim was to bat till the end. Even he knows he can start hitting from any moment of time, but then he kept one end intact, and other batsmen gave freedom to other batsmen to express themselves and accelerate the score. I think that helped Punjab to a great deal.
I would
Yeah,
like to give
absolutely.
credit. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, absolutely. The way KL Rahul batted, he looked to be back in form, especially what happened in the T20 games in versus England. So maybe that was going in his mind. So initial stages, we couldn't see him, opening his arms that much. He was going with the conservative approach. But once he had a good touch with the bat. He was exploring his options and going with the attack.
Few shots which he played over the fine leg. Whoa, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Going down
I hope,
on the knee and hitting it over the fine leg. It was super.
I hope he
Rahul have
continues.
KL Rahul have fantastic wrists. He uses his wrist to great effect. Some few shots he played, no one from Indian team can play that shot. Even Rohit,
Yeah.
likes of Rohit, Virat, even they
Definitely.
can't play those shots. But Rahul with his flexible wrists, he can just play those shots with great ease. Amazing shots.
Yeah, definitely. And I hope he continues with the same form and not repeat what happened in IPL 20.
Yeah,
Because in the initial games, we were saying him firing like anything, himself and Mayank Agarwal. But after first 5 or 6 games, the firepower was gone.
yeah. They started playing tentative, very tentative. They were not confident at all, and they were trying to save their wicket and try to score. That was the wrong tactic which was going with them. But what I feel like we should give a credit to Punjab Kings management as well as KL Rahul to bringing Deepak Huda before Nicholas Puran. Nicholas Puran is big power hitter, but they have given opportunity to Deepak Huda to express himself, which has never happened in the past IPLs. He has played for many franchises, but always he used to get last few overs to express himself, which was very, very different. And when he got opportunity to bat more overs, he has shown his talent like anything.
Definitely, that was a good move. And one thing maybe benefited Deepak Huda is the inconsistency of Nicholas Puran. Even in the last edition, Nicholas Puran didn't deliver the way he should have been, but definitely that was benefited Deepak Huda, or management decided to go for Deepak Huda rather than Nicholas Puran.
Yeah, even when we came for a bat yesterday, it looked like Chris Morris had a plan prepared for him. He already had one man sitting down there on the leg side. Exactly, he ball him outside the leg stump, and there you go. He gave him a simple catch.
And
Are we
one thing,
seeing? Yeah, Vijay.
and one thing always makes things difficult for opponents if they haven't seen any particular player playing before. So Deepak Huda, because he didn't get much opportunity earlier, it is very difficult to set plan against such batsmen. So even that benefited Deepak Huda as well. Now that we will see more planning against Deepak Huda in coming matches by the opponent teams.
Are we seeing one more Indian talent coming as a fast bowler in the name of Sakaria? Chetan Sakaria? He was bowling like anything yesterday.
Yeah,
He was
obviously,
swinging for 2 overs.
if you consider about Indian team now, almost we can play like 8 national teams, yeah, and we can have 8 international games going around. Those many players are ready with India. Definitely, we'll not take credit from Zakaria. He bowled really well, and yeah, it's a quite promising youngster.
And I feel he would have got four wickets instead of 3 wickets if they would have taken a review against Mayank Agarwal, which was looking dead plumb in front of.
Yeah, might be, but this is very what we can say, too early to comment on that. Let's see how he performs in other matches, coming matches. That will decide whether he has capability to be in the Indian international team. But then yes, he is an exciting talent, no doubt.
Why I have mentioned about him, the major thing about him in yesterday's match, all the bowlers have gone around 10 or 10 to 13 runs per over. Only Chetan Sakaria was only fast bowler who was around 7 and 8 runs per over, which was remarkably well. When Deepak Huda was hitting, Rahul was in good form, Mr. Chris Gayle, universe boss, was hitting perfectly to Chris Morris and Mustafizur Rahman. So
again,
I feel he has shown something.
Again, new player, very difficult to set plan against him. same thing with Sakaria also. He is a new bowler, don't know how he bowls, how many variations he have. So it is difficult to predict the delivery. So that one also helped for him.
Does it look like a plan from Rajasthan Royals to bring Ben Stokes up the order rather than giving opportunity to Josh Butler?
That was a miscalculation as far as my views are concerned. If we see Ben Stokes, even we see while playing for England team, he always plays in the middle order because it gives more balance to the batting side. He has good hitting capabilities also, and good running between the wickets, ability to rotate the strike, and holding one end up. But then opening with him is, I think, not a good option. Josh Butler is a regular opener for England team, even in international or even in IPL. When he played in Mumbai's team, he was every time he was asked to open the inning. So yesterday's Rajasthan Royals decision to open with Ben Stokes, I think that was a miscalculation. Had he been pushed a little down, then the winning chances or the margin at which they lost the game, that would have been minimized, or even they would have won the match, because it adds little bit balance in between.
I believe that change has made a difference, because Sanju was too under pressure and he was not having any experienced middle order batsman.
Yes, that is one factor. But then the the Rajasthan Royals management didn't do their study well, because if you see the last England India tour, even England tried to open with Ben Stokes, or asking him to bat one down. Even in those two positions, he could not score runs, or he could not deliver. So I think Rajasthan Royals should have studied those series as well before asking him to open the batting.
Yeah, I agree. I agree to that point. It seriously looks like that it was a miscalculation from Rajasthan management. Are we going to discuss about the drop catches? Because this match was totally moving around the drop catches. They Rajasthan dropped KL Rahul when he was around 38, 47, something like that. Sanju Samson got 3 opportunities. One was dropped by KL Rahul and others. I don't understand. And those all catches were very simple catches. Means it was not a difficult catch or something like that.
Butterfingers.
Yeah, seriously.
It
It
means
was
this
looking
IPL
like
is going
again,
with
the
Butterfingers.
Mumbai's due factor was affecting the ball for catching.
We cannot say that because when I heard the post-match presentation, Deepak Hooda said after first innings that there is no due at all on the ground.
But full credit to KL Rahul and Sanju Samson, the way they have capitalized the opportunity and taken the shape of their innings.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. Sanju Samson's yesterday's inning was it was a class act, no doubt about it. The way he played or he planned his inning, it was to the perfection till the last ball on which he got out. But then the whole inning, all the shots he played were proper cricketing shots. Not that just he's hitting reverse sweeps and other paddle sweeps and
Yeah,
other.
absolutely.
But all the shots he played were proper cricketing and perfect shots. And he's a talented young player. We don't have any doubts about that. But then the consistency is the only factor which is holding him back to play international cricket. If he continues like this in this entire edition, then no one can stop Samson from playing international cricket. He is a class act, fantastic batsman.
We saw a nice gamble by KL Rahul. Yeah, in the 17th over, 4 overs remaining, 45 runs required for Rajasthan to chase. Only 1 over left for Shami, and he didn't fear apart from giving a ball to Shami and clear that over for him. And Shami absolutely did a fantastic job. He managed to restrict the total. I believe that was a turning point from Punjab's point of view.
Let's
That
not
Shami's sorry, go ahead. I'm not sorry.
let's not forget the last over of Akshardeep Patel, Akshardeep Singh also.
He kept his nerve, and it was really good over.
Yeah, he was bowling in the basics.
Definitely. Basics are applicable everywhere in all formats of game, whether you are playing test matches or one days or a T20. Bowling stump to stump is the basic bowling technique, and you should follow that. Even if batsman shuffles to disturb your line and length, if you bowl stump to stump, you have good opportunity to either get the batsman by LBW or get him out bowled, or sometimes the batsman miscues the big hit and can get out by caught.
But full credit to Punjab Kings bowling coach and the bowling staff, because Josh Butler's wicket seems to be like repetition of Shardul Thakur delivery.
Oh, yeah, slow Yorker. That was a beautiful delivery.
Perfectly slow Yorker.
That was a fantastic delivery. Although Richardson went for too many runs, but that Butler's wicket was very crucial, and it was a treat to watch. The pitch of the delivery, even Butler could not, what we can say, he didn't get the delivery itself. He Even he didn't have clue what coming out of Richardson hand, and that was a slow Yorker. It was very rare delivery, and Richardson executed that to the perfection. Beautiful delivery.
Last two balls were remaining in the match, and 5 runs were required. And Sanju Samson refused the run and went to a non-striker was Chris Morris. That was a bold decision to take, isn't it?
That was a bold decision, and as far as my views are concerned, that was a correct decision because Chris Morris just came to the crease, and before that delivery, he scored just 1 run in the 3 deliveries or 2 runs in 4 deliveries. So giving a strike to a batsman who is not set, even if he is a Chris Morris, he is a highest paid player in the IPL edition. It was really bigger gamble than what Sanju Samson did. We must not forget Sanju Samson was playing on 119, and he had all he was seeing the ball like a football. So the chances of hitting big shot was Samson's or we can say Samson was a good option to hit the ball better than Chris Morris. That was what.
I beg to differ. I don't know why, but what I felt yesterday on that second last ball, it was easy double. It was easy two. I have seen Morris has reached to Sanju's crease and he came back and throw was wavered. So there was opportunity to steal the second run, and Sanju should have thought about it that if I am not able to hit it to the boundary, I should at least collect couple of runs. That would have made match into more difficult situation for Punjab.
But then we must take one thing into
that would have created a situation of a super over, because if he managed to get 2 runs on that second last ball, then the last ball again scoring 2 runs was easy, releasing the pressures from the head.
Correct, but one thing we must take into consideration that Sanju Samson was playing from the beginning of the inning, and he was a bit tired. So when we are saying that 2 runs were easy, it was easy for Chris Morris because he just came in. But for Sanju Samson playing for whole 20 overs and take 2 runs, that might be difficult for him. That's why he refused the run, and he was a bit confident. Maybe he thought he could hit the final 6 or 4 if the shot was 4. If he had scored 4 runs of that last ball, again the super over was on. So I think that was a bit gamble, but then we should consider that was a bold decision by a young inexperienced captain, and full marks to him.
Actually, I felt one more mistake done by Sanju.
Had he won that match, we would have called that as a master stroke. But now he lost the match. Still, it is a master stroke. That is
Exactly.
In fact, Sanju Samson give opportunity to Chris Morris to hit the ball or to play proper cricketing shot. Now it is unfortunate that he couldn't connect the ball, but then he took 1 run. It is not that it was a waste. Had he not scored a run in the next 2-3 balls, then we could call it as a failure or a miscalculation by Sanju Samson.
So that's all from our review for the match between the Rajasthan Royals and Punjab Kings. Hope all of you have liked our videos. If you like, to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel.